Welcome to the Simple Doesn't Mean Easy podcast. We are here twice a week working at simplifying things in our life. Our Friday episode is going to be a mini episode. I'm excited about doing this. I'm really not sure where it's going to head. I love your thoughts and input on this. What would you like to see talked about in 3 to 5 minutes on Fridays? I don't know. It could be Q&A, could be things I love. I'm guessing what it's going to be was my plan when I first thought of this is to just answer those questions that I get often that I don't really have time to answer and get back to everybody all the time. But I do have common questions that come up again and again. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, eventually I'll run out of those questions. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you want to see on Fridays or hear on Fridays, I should say. But today I'm sharing with you a recipe. And the reason I wanted to share this is I was thinking, I don't have many recipes that I don't pull out directions for. There's always some detail I want to remind myself of, or I'm not sure of, how much of this or how much of that. But there is one recipe that everyone in our family loves that I have not for 20 or more years ever pulled up the directions on making it. It's a recipe from Bill's grandmother. And Marjorie was the sweetest woman. I adored her. And I love it that I have this recipe from her that I think about her often when I'm making it. And it's so simple. She was pretty straightforward. She was a pretty simple kind of gal. She lived in New England her whole life. She was definitely a New Englander kind of lady. And straightforward and simple was her way. So here it is. It's for cheese souffle. And it is something that most likely you will always have all the ingredients on hand. It's really easy to put together. The only thing that makes it not amazingly easy is that you should let it sit for at least 3 hours. That's what grandmom always said. I've never tried letting it sit for less than 3 hours. I'm sure it would still be fine. But I like to do it overnight if you have the room in the fridge to make it the night before, if you're going to have it for breakfast, or throw it together at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for dinner. So all you have to have, this is actually one, I love it for two things. I really am going to get to the recipe. I love it that it uses old bread. This is why I keep stale bread for this recipe. And I love it that it uses eggs. Sometimes we are overflowing in eggs, so I'm always looking for a good egg recipe. All right, you need 4 slices of bread. You tear them up and put them in the bottom of your baking dish. You want it to be a small square dish, or I always use a pie pan. Then you want cheese. I guess maybe this is what I should have looked at the recipe for to give you a specific amount. Um, I would say it's about 2 to 3 cups of grated cheese that I just put right on top of the bread. And then I mix up 4 eggs and 2 cups of milk. So it's even easy ratio to remember, 4 eggs to 2 cups of milk. You very lightly whisk it together. You don't need to get it all mixed up. It's fine if the yolks are not totally incorporated. And then pour that on top of your cheese and your bread. Cover it, let it sit in the fridge until you're ready to bake it. Bake it at 350 for about 30 to 45 minutes. You know it's done. Peek at it every so often. You know it's done when it's beautifully puffed up and brown on the top. It's a favorite recipe. We serve it often with kielbasa sausage. I will slice that and put it in a small bread pan with a little bit of water on the bottom, and I'll stick that in the oven when the souffle is about 15 minutes from being done. And there you have it. Add a vegetable, you have a delicious meal. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. If you try it, let me know what you think of grandma's recipe. And thanks for listening, guys. Remember, it is easy to forget how blessed we are to live this life. So enjoy those simple everyday efforts. It's not easy, but it's worth it.